It's hot. Sweltering might be a better word. The far side of the athlete field shimmers like a mirage. Why do they hold these sports festivals when it's so frigging hot outside? Whoever come up with the idea of a sport festival anyway? Aren't festivals supposed to be fun? The crowd cheers as one of the race comes to a close. Yeah, I do not like this kind of sports because it is always under the hot sun. It's really hot and you cannot concentrate. Let's go, class 2. We can do it. Female student. Another male student. Come on, class 1. Just a little more. Come on, SpongeBob. Oh yeah, my name is SpongeBob, by the way. We have got to cheer them on. My classmates are all so passionate, but I just can't muster the enthusiasm. I'm definitely not the most athletically gifted student at Toyo High School. In fact, I wouldn't say I'm remarkable in any sense, really. But how could anyone have so much energy in this heat? Still, if anyone's distracted, now might be the perfect time to sneak away. Slowly, backing out of the crowd, I begin to look for some shade. I make my way toward the bike rack and sit down on the curb, letting out a sigh. This is so much better. It's so cool and quiet, and best of it, no spots. Hearing something behind me, I glance around nervously, but sees nothing. As long as none of the teachers find me, I hear the cheering echoes of the building as the events roll on. I shake my head, muttering to myself, man, I don't know how anyone could manage to run in this, at least without dropping dead. Just then, I feel a sudden chill sending a shiver up my spine. Feels like somebody is watching me. Oh, that's creepy. I turn around and see a pale-skinned girl standing beneath some tree nearby. Oh, is this one of the vampire girl, I think? Why is she staring at me like that? Oh, I know, yes, she is definitely a vampire because they are trying to make us assume that, vampires scared of the sun, and that's thus she feels a little bit pale. What should I do? You are about to make a premium option. Please do not. I know tutorial, but do not give me a premium option so quickly. Try to welcome her. Hey there. Guess you are not a sports fan either, huh? Weird. What the heck is with her? May as well check my socials if she's going to be like that. I pull out my phone using the darkened screen as a mirror to check my hair. Just as I hit the button bringing the screen to life, I noticed something is off. Was it just a trick of the light, or did she not appear in the reflection? I cast a stealthy look over my shoulder to confirm that she is still there, then shrug. As I browse through my feeds, responding to a few comments, I can still feel her eyes is on me. The longer it goes on, the more it gets on my nerves, but I'm determined not to show it. I watch a video, take a selfie, even try retying my shoelace. Why would I take a selfie? But when I finally do glance back, she is still there, silent, unmoving. Maybe she is waiting for me to come over. With a disgruntled sigh, I get up and start walking toward her. As I get closer, I notice that her skin is really pale. No wonder she is sticking to the shade. She would melt like a snowflake. Hey there. Did you? Wow! I don't understand. Why would I wow? Before I can finish, she falls in a heap on the ground. What the heck? Are you okay? I kneel down next to her, trying to prop her up as I look around for anyone who might help. What the hell? What is going on? That's when I feel a sudden sharp pain on the side of my forearm. Wait, is she biting me? Oh, I just realized that because there was a sudden red color appeared on the screen. Hey, what the hell are you doing? I barely have time to register the bite mark before a wave of dizziness hits me. What's happening? A moment later, I'm the one lying on the ground. The last thing I see her before everything goes dark is her blank face looming over me. So guys, do not fall bait to these kind of things. If you happen to run into some situation and you see some beautiful woman just standing there, do not approach her because I know the situation might be different, but the outcome will be the same. You are the one who will be falling to the ground. Okay. Especially in the midnight. do not get out of the car to help some woman. I would do that. By the time I come to, the strange girl has vanished. What just happened? What did she do to me? My head is still spinning, so I stay put while I get it together. That's when I hear a series of footsteps heading my way. Could that be her? Coming back for more? It isn't the pale skinned girl that comes into view, though, but a more familiar face. Oh hey, Honoka. She plants her hands squarely on her hips when she sees me, shaking her head. Seriously? Slacking off in the middle of the sports festival? A little outdoor activity won't kill you, you know. Don't be so sure. She ignores my grumbling and reaches out with one hand, helping me to my feet. Come on, the relay race is up next and I'm volunteering you for the team. What? But I'm terrible at running, you know that? Well, you haven't competed in anything today, so it's time to do your bit. Oh come on, it's so hot, how are you still strutting around? Because I can suck it up, plus I've been staying hydrated. Have you had even a drop of water today? I think about it for a moment. I had a sports drinks earlier. Honoka rolls her eyes and starts pulling me back towards the athletic field. Honestly, you are hopeless, SpongeBob. There's no use trying to fight back when Honoka's made her mind up. She could probably overpower me if it really comes down to that. Not that I would ever admit that last part to another living soul though. Honoka announced to the rest of the class that I'll be joining the relay team. The prospect is met with exactly the kind of response I expected. It is dismay. Are you sure you want to do this, SpongeBob? Yeah, the relay can be tough. It's a shorter distance than any of the other solo races, so he would do just fine. There are still murmurs of discontent, and part of me wants to join in the protest. But it is pointless. Honoka is determined to make me active. Well, no use fighting it. Time to grit my teeth and let everybody down. So funny. Accepting my fate, I followed the rest of my teammates over to the track. Why don't we put you at the end, SpongeBob? That sounds like a bad idea. No, see, if we run fast enough, you will have less to worry about when it's your turn. I'm not sure it makes much more difference, but if you say so, definitely I'll try. With that decided, I take my place near the end. This isn't going to work out well, but what can I do? I watch my classmates run their hardest, trying to keep up ahead of other students. But we are only in third place by the time they reach me. My teammate strains his hand out, handing me the baton. Alright, here goes nothing. I close my fingers around the metal rod, and that's when something amazing happens. Some kind of disastrous miracle. I run fast, and I mean really fast. I feel like the vampire has given me some amp up power. Before I know it, the two runners that were ahead of us are eating my dust. And I cross the finish line so quickly that the tape is barely reading it in time. Holy crap. Did that really just happen? I won? That's a lull in the cheering as everyone tries to wrap their head around what they just saw. Then suddenly the whole crowd erupts and my classmate rush over to me, congratulating me. As they jostle in around me, patting me on the back, I'm dumbstruck. Never in my life have I run that fast. How was that even possible? Oh my god, SpongeBob, that was amazing. Yeah. Honoka claps her hands down on my shoulder. Maybe you should join the track and field team more often, you know. I give a half-hearted laugh. Yeah, right. My words are drowned out by another round of cheering and applause. This is a little overwhelming, especially when I have no idea what just happened. Then our class is declared the official winner, and the celebration kicks up another notch. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how I managed to pull that off. As the crowd started to break up, I seized the chance to slip away unnoticed. I'm going to find the vampire girl again. I just need a moment to unpack all of this. With school basically done for the day, I make my way to the small park nearby. You know, I do not like to hear the background noise where there's like little bugs keep making those noise. It's irritating because at my area, like right now. In the morning or in evening, there's so much like this kind of cricket sound keep moving, and it's just annoying as hell. Okay, let's continue. With school basically done for the day, I make my way to the small park nearby. It's quiet and there's plenty of shade, perfect for collecting my thoughts. I stare down at my hands and feet, trying to figure things out. How was that even possible? I never run fast. I barely even run. Talking to yourself again? Most people would consider that strange. Let's take a moment to appreciate the background music. It's really nice. Okay, let's continue, man. I give a start, turning around to see the same strange girl from before. She is pretty beautiful, to be honest. Where did she even come from? I could have sworn the park was empty. I notice a very faint blush on her cheek now as she waits for a response. You the girl from before, near the park area. Well, glad to hear I made an impression. I'm Konoha. You are Konoha from Naruto? Okay, an impression is an understatement. You beat me and then left me pass out on the ground. Next thing I know, I'm running at superhuman speed, and that's way too convenient to be a coincidence. She tilts her head, feigning confusion. I can't imagine what you mean. Oh no, don't play dumb with me, Konoha. You did something to me, I know it. Everything went weird after I tried to help you. She levels her head at me, fixing me with an implacable stare. It's hard to get a read on her with that blank expression. You are talking crazy. Growing frustrated, I run up to her in the hopes of getting some kind of reaction. Tell me what you did. She gives me a jolt at the sound of my voice but doesn't back down. Are you sure you really want to know? What, of course I do. She hesitates, but then in a meek voice utters something I never would have guessed. Well, I'm a vampire. Alright, I take a step back, staring at her in disbelief. A vampire? What are you talking about? I'm really not in the mood for jokes. Yeah, she sighs, and part of me starts to think she's being earnest. Come with me. I can explain everything, but not out in the open like this. She confesses to being a vampire and then expect me to follow her? Yeah, who it would in the bright mind would follow her? Should I do as she says? I agree to go with her. She is probably out of her mind, and I guess that makes me crazy for going along with it too. You are really going to tell me the truth? Yes, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Alright then, so where are we going? Back to my place. Once you have met my family, everything will become clear. What are you talking about? You want me to meet your vampire girl? Your vampire family? That is just crazy. Your family? She nods and motions for me to follow. Well, it looks like the only way I'm going to get answers is to indulge her. Alright, lead the way. As I follow along a few places behind her, my head races with all kinds of scenarios. None of them ends particularly well. Oh my god, I'm going to die. Here we are. I look up at the house expecting something grim and foreboding. Oh, it looks so normal. Konoha throws me a quizzical glance. Well, yeah, what were you expecting? Oh, nothing particular, I guess. I get to the sense she's rolling her eyes at me as she turns to open the door. Sorry, we had to offload the old Gothic mansion. Father said the maintenance costs were bleeding him dry. I peer tentatively around the door. It's dim inside, but otherwise still perfectly normal. There you are, Konoha. Where have you? A girl comes down the stairs, pausing for a moment when she claps her eyes on me. What? She looks kinda weird, you know. Her features are similar to Konoha, a sister perhaps. She looks kind of familiar actually. I think she's in the class above me. She hurries down the stairs, pulling Konoha close to her as she eyes me suspiciously. Kisara, what are you? Who is this guy? What has he done to you? If you have done anything to harm my little sister, I'll see that you live to regret. Geez, overprotective much. Ah, nice to meet you too, Kisara, is it? My sarcasm goes unnoted as she continues to shield Konoha. Kisara, I'm fine. SpongeBob hasn't done anything to me. In fact, it is quite the contrary. Konoha is the one who sucked my blood, I think. Yeah, more like the other way around. I hear another set of footsteps and then a tall, sharp-featured man enters the room. A cold shiver runs down my spine as I look up to him. Kisara let go of Konoha, and they both take a step back, bowing their head. Father, of course this absolute vision of a scarecrow is their father. I see we have a guest, whom do I owe the pleasure? Father, this is SpongeBob, I told him the truth. There's a quiver in Konoha's voice, but I'm impressed she managed to speak at all. His listless eyes remains fixed on me, studying me as the moment drags on. And then, in an instant, everything changes. His expression softens, and a modest smile leaves his features. Welcome, SpongeBob. Shall we convene in the living room? There is much to discuss. That was quite a change, but I'm not about to let my guard down just yet. Sure, let's do this. So what are we talking about? Why are you suddenly taking me to your house and... Okay, let's continue. I want to see what they are trying to tell me. As we enter the living room, the two sisters sit down on the couch. Then their father gestured towards a seat, waiting for me to take it before he sits down opposite. I feel all three pairs of eyes fixed on me, even the two behind their dark sunglasses. Is this mortuary look the family fashion or what? It's quite a nice place you have here, sir. Let's just get this over with. What exactly is her beef with me? So as I said, SpongeBob, I'm a vampire. We are all actually. As my eyes pass across the three of them, it seems more plausible than it did before. How should I respond? Laugh it off. Oh, come on. I want to suck your blood. And all that? I curl my fingers into talon and lean back, baring my teeth. That's offensive, and I resent the implication that my sister is a liar. Patience, Kisara. It takes time for a mere mortal to accept a revelation of such magnitude. He turns back to me with a compassionate, if slightly condescending look. Yes, vampires do exist. Even so, Konoha is somewhat special. I look over at Konoha, who casts her eyes down with the hint of a blush on her cheek. Special? How? There are various terms for it in the old tongue, but none of that will mean much to you. Basically, I'm what you might call a reverse vampire. Precisely, while most vampires take blood to sate their thirst, a reverse vampire does the opposite. My blood produces more blood than I can contain, and if somebody receives that blood, they gain superhuman abilities. Which is why I was able to run so fast? Konoha nods. So when you beat me, you were actually giving me blood? Why did I pass out then? It is possible Konoha simply overdid it. You humans can only take so much after all. And he is not exactly the most impressive specimen either. Bite your tongue, Kisara. I let the insult pass, trying to grapple with everything I have just been told. Huh, well this is certainly a shock. You can hardly expect a vampire to go around advertising it, can't you? Not with the beat up we are given in the media. It's prejudice, I tell you. Konoha places a hand on her shoulder, calming Kisara. Reverse vampires like me are extremely rare, SpongeBob, so it's not surprising you haven't heard of one before. But the whole giving blood thing is not dangerous? No, I won't harm you. Her father presses her lips firmly together before speaking again. She is right, SpongeBob. Kisara and I have chosen an alternative diet too, which means that we are no threat either. Unless provoked. Kisara is like a really mean one. And she is not beautiful, to be honest. I swallow nervously, suspecting that Kisara and I might have differing opinions on where to draw that particular line. Speaking of which, well, that doesn't sound ominous at all. It should go without saying, SpongeBob, but all this must remain a secret. Nobody must know what we have reviewed here this afternoon. Oh, totally, don't worry about it. We are serious. You can't say a word about this to anyone. If anyone were to find out, well, it would be unpleasant for all concerned. Unpleasant? His eyes narrows on me and that cold look is back on his face, making me sit up straighter. We are most insistent that our secret stays just that, and we will take all necessary measures to keep it that way. Of course, understand, sir. My lips are sealed. After another threatening look from Kisara, Konoha finally walks me to the door. I was wondering why they would tell me the secret and don't tell others. Something is off. I'm sorry if that was a little bit intense, but hopefully that explains everything. Yeah, thanks. She lingers on the doorstep for a moment. I take a big risk letting you in on this, SpongeBob. Don't let me down. Then she closed the door before I have a chance to respond. As I walk back home, my head is still spinning. I finally met a vampire family. One of them bit me and gave me superpowers. And did I mention vampires? This is so insane. Even as I lay down on my head, the room seems to whirl. What a freaking day. Maybe it will make more sense in the morning. I close my eye and let myself drift off into a fitful sleep. When the next morning does arrive, it brings a headache to match my lingering questions. Maybe I just need to talk this out with someone. I know they said to keep this to myself, but this is just too much to handle. I look around the schoolyard, catching sight of Honoka as she walks by. They are trying to play with the words. Just take a look at Honoka, the name. If you swap the H and a K, it's Konoha. So they just changed the letters. Hey, Honoka. She looks up with a smile before walking over. Morning, SpongeBob, what's up? Perfect. Honoka is so rational, she counts synapses when she can't fall asleep. I bet she will be able to explain Konoha and her eccentric family, or at least reassure me that I'm not just going crazy. Hey, I wouldn't want to let Konoha down, to be honest. I wouldn't say the secret. Hey, so weird question, but you know about vampires, right? Honoka looks at me confused. Huh? What are you? Before she can finish, Konoha and Kisara suddenly approach. They appear almost identical, except for the sunglasses and the smell strongly of the sunscreen. What kind of protection are they using? SPF 10,000? For us human, we usually use like ranging from 15 to 150, and the maximum I use is 150. I don't see anyone using 10,000. Except for this vampire, of course. Oh, you don't look so good. That race must have taken it out of you yesterday. I look back at her, confused. I'm feeling fine. Just then, something hits me like a punch in the gut. My body starts to ache as my skin grows cold and clammy, somehow burning at the same time. What the heck is happening to me? With a groan, I look back at Kisara, with only smirks as she watched me suffer. You two, what did you? Another wave racks my body even more intense than the first. What are they doing to me?